Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the Lytham Partners Fall 2023 Investor Conference. My name is Joe Dorame, Managing Partner of Lytham Partners. Up next, we have a panel presentation I hope you will find of interest. The name of our panel is Target Zero, Eco-Friendly Consumer Products for a Sustainable Future. We are joined today by two esteemed executives from France and Canada, Marc Delcourt, co-founder and CEO of Global Bioenergies, and Trent MacDonald, Chief Financial Officer of Beverage Corporation. Global Bioenergies is a clean tech company creating natural cosmetic products and renewable aviation fuel. The ticker symbol is ALGBE on the Euronext Paris. Beverage Corporation is a premium and sustainable water company. The ticker symbols are FLOW on the Toronto and FLWBF on the OTCQX. Our goal today is to help highlight two leading companies and the benefits of their products for a sustainable future. To kick things off, I'd like for each of you to introduce yourself and provide a brief overview of your company. Trent, let's start with you, and then we'll go with Marc after you.
Great. Thanks for having us here, Joe. Like I said, I'm the CFO. I'm actually the EVP of operations as well here at Flow. I've been here for a little over a year, and I have a background in retail and large CPG. But really, this story isn't about me. So specifically, it's about Flow. And Flow, if anybody doesn't know, is a wonderful water in a wonderful package. And we are highly focused on sustainability, which is what our consumers seem to be very passionate about. And when I say we have passionate consumers, it almost takes it to another level. I've never worked in an organization where our consumers are so indeed passionate about the product that they purchase, and you can see that consumer base growing every day, and our partnerships are growing, doors of distribution are growing. And so look, it's a wonderful place to work, inside and out. And so very proud of our company, and looking forward to talking a lot more about it throughout the course of this interview.
Great. Marc?
So I'm Marc Delcourt. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Global Bioenergies. Our company, Global Bioenergies, has developed a process to convert renewable feedstocks, sugar, but also wood chips or wheat straw. All these feedstocks are converted into a family of chemical compounds that are in use in various markets, including the cosmetics and the sustainable aviation fuel. So we have a small commercial facility, having started its activity 1 year ago now. We produce, we sell. We sell in the field of cosmetics, where the economics are easier to match if compared to other markets. And we continue to improve our process to build larger and always larger plants, with the idea to produce massively in this appealing market of sustainable aviation fuel by 2030. And the goal, of course, is to reduce CO2 emissions and to act on and really have an impact on the global warming.
Great. Thanks for those introductions. Trent, let's start with you. How do you engage with customers and your partners to educate them on the benefits of your products?
Yeah, great question. It actually starts with the packaging itself. I don't know if anybody's ever seen our packaging. Here it is here. This is one of our 500 ml cucumber mint flows. But right on the packaging, and you can sort of see it here, but we talk about, the water that loves you back. We talk about the sustainability nature of the actual water itself, the great taste, the minerals, electrolytes, what it does for your health. And then we talk about being planet positive, and the things that we do around sustainability and the packaging itself and how important it is. We do that not only on the package, but we actually do it within the realms of our digital marketing and all of our assets that we put out there into the stratosphere. We talk a lot about sustainability, the health benefits of the underlying water itself, which are plentiful, and those things that we know are really important to our consumer base. And we actually sell that to our great partners. And you'll see within the many doors of distribution we have, close to 60,000 across US and Canada, you'll see a lot of that is focused on, health and wellness and natural foods. And so that's where you'll see us. And, we have great partners like Whole Foods as an example, who takes our entire lineup, and we have a lot of end cap and large display with them because they are very, very focused on sustainability and organic products. And so that's where we see ourselves benefiting a lot in terms of that communication and literally how we sell ourselves to both the consumer and our partners.
That's great. Marc, same question for you. How do you engage with your customers and partners to educate them on the benefits of your products?
So in fact, there is a really a huge market traction in both markets I mentioned earlier. In the cosmetics, everyone wants to stop using petrol-based compounds, and people want to use natural ingredients instead. And so the whole question is about how do you substitute? Is it like for like, or do you substitute some compounds with our compound with a difference in the formulation? So there is a lot of work to be prepared for such substitution. But the willingness is really there, and our tightest partner is L'Oréal. Number one in the cosmetics industry. We're very close to L'Oréal. They're also our first shareholder. We're a listed company with 12,000 shareholders, having L'Oréal as a number one shareholder with 13%, 1-3. And we see that in the case of L'Oréal, the vision is to move to 95% natural origin for the global sourcing. So 95% of the ingredients in each formulation, each formula at L'Oréal will be natural by 2030. So really, the market traction is there. It's really about producing at the right cost to sell at the right price. And then in the field of the sustainable aviation fuel, it's a little odd that our process does both products for both applications, but in fact, it's a little bit like in the case of oil-based processes. From oil, you produce fuels, but you also produce chemicals and also cosmetics. So in our case, it's the same. We have a process to vary to key molecules which are very central for the chemistry. And we can access both the markets of cosmetics and sustainable aviation fuel. And in this market of sustainable aviation fuel, the first thing to be done is get a certification, because in the SAF, a mistake is a plane on the ground, so you cannot really have any kind of surprises. So the question is about certification, and we just got our certification. So it's done by the ASTM, an international organization, and it works as a vote. So all the players in the industry have evaluated our technology, and we had 1,500 companies to vote in favor of our technology, so it can be used, and that was done last summer.
That's great. All right, Trent, talk about your respective partners and how you help them meet their sustainability goals. You've got some high-profile partners looking at your website and your investor deck, from Starbucks to Albertson Safeway and Live Nation recently. So,
yeah, happy to do that. Look, for us here at Flow, partnerships and community are really like the broader focus of our sustainability platform. And it's not just our packaging and the product itself, our water. It's a holistic view that we take. It's who we are as a company in every single thing that we do. And so, from our vendor partners, as an example, we work with Tetra Pak. Tetra Pak uses mostly plant-based packs designed for low carbon impact. And next year, we're actually rolling out our lowest carbon packaging that we've ever used, which aligns with Tetra Pak's goal to provide the most sustainable options to consumers. We also operate our production facility here in Aurora, Ontario, with 100% renewable energy sourced in Canada through Bullfrog Power. Beyond that, we're a member of the Amazon Climate Pledge, while we offset all of our emissions with an organization called Good Wings. And we offset our e-commerce emissions with EcoCart. So you can see this holistic view taking shape here. But beyond that, we have customer partners, and we're a member of the Starbucks Partners for Sustainability program, and we support their initiatives such as litter cleanup projects, and most recently their National Tree Day across Canada, in which both of those things we had several members of the Flow family actually out there participating, cleaning litter and planting trees. It's important to us, and our team members are very passionate about it. Live Nation, you mentioned, their stated goal is to phase out the sale of single-use plastics at their owned and operated venues and events. And look, Flow provides them with that type of product that meets that goal and objective of theirs, because we're highly renewable in terms of our resource content. We also, just even beyond that, we donate water to disaster relief organizations like Red Cross and FEMA. And we donate a lot of our product to local food banks to meet their goals of addressing, water shortages. So again, it's a holistic view that we take to sustainability and being that really high ESG scored company, because it's in our blood, it's who we are, and our customers are really passionate about that, as are our team members throughout the organization.
Great. Now, Marc, you had kind of touched about your partner with L'Oreal, but help the audience understand, why did L'Oreal select you to help them meet their sustainability goals?
Because we produce, in fact, one of the key ingredients in the cosmetics industry that is difficult to substitute. So you really need this molecule. By proportion, it weighs about 2% of the cosmetics. So it's a significant molecule. So it's in fact in the top 10 of the cosmetics ingredients. And in their quest of naturalness, L'Oréal is really willing to substitute compounds that are produced from fossil resources by compounds that are naturally sourced, and that's what we produced. And so we help them achieve their 95% goal of sustainable ingredients by 2030. So we're a significant part of their journey in this direction. So our immediate impact is a few percent, but in fact our ingredient could also substitute other ingredients, and in total we could be far above 5% of the total sourcing of the cosmetics ingredients. So it's really a big molecule for the cosmetics, and it's very difficult to produce. So that's why it took us a lot of years to put this process in place, to convert sugars, whatever they come from, into these ingredients. And now we are alone on this market, and we really see the market traction, and everything is now moving forward to increase our production and to sell at large volumes.
Great. Trent, let's talk about your certification and its importance. I see that you've got the B Corporation. Help people understand what that means.
Yeah, look, first and foremost, our certifications, at their endpoint, allow our buyers and all of our consumers to trust Flow's products integrity, and that Flow's sustainability claims are actually verified by independent third parties. They also, we are subject to frequent audits, so many of them, to maintain these certifications, which, require us to continuously improve our processes and keep our standards very high. So that's sort of the end goal. But, in terms of where we are on that, look, we're really proud to be a B Corp certified company. And the B Corp is only given to companies that meet the highest standards of social and environmental accountability, and use business as a force for good. And so that's where you get that particular rating. And Flow is, not only do we have the B Corp certification, we're in the highest tier of B Corp certified with its best for the world designation. And it actually places us in the top 5% of all companies in the world with a score of 126.5, which, by the way, is the highest in the world in the water industry. We also have more certifications. We have Flow, we have the NSF and BRC certifications, which, ensure we efficiently use water resources and meet the high standards of food safety. We're actually kosher certified, if you didn't know that, to ensure products can reach the broadest audience. And so everyone can enjoy the water and buy a sustainable product. And our flavors are QAI organic certified because we strive to give our consumers the cleanest ingredients possible. So again, it's one of those holistic views to something that's really important for us. And we want our consumers to trust and understand who we are as a company and what we stand for.
That's great. Marc, I saw yesterday that you put out a press release about receiving the CSR certification. Can you help the audience understand what that means and the importance of it?
Yeah, so we got the EcoVadis certification, which is a certification for the ISR index, and so we've been evaluated on the on various criteria, and we see a clear progress if compared to last year. And now we are in the top tier of the company that are performing well regarding all the environment and social questions. One thing we're very proud of is the electricity reduction. So we've been able in 2 years to reduce our consumption of electricity by 28%, and that's just by taking actions on the way we behave on the everyday life of the company. We reduce the heating, we reduce the cooling, we put systems to so the lights are not on if there is no need, and just this is reducing by 28%. So it took really some efforts, but now we're very proud of the result. And of course, it's just an example. There are many other things we intend to do and to progress to reduce our carbon footprint.
That's great. All right. Turning a little bit to the business, Trent, this is for you first. What are the primary challenges that need to be addressed in order to maximize operational performance while still meeting sustainability goals?
Yeah, look, that's a question a lot of people ask us right now. I think it's well documented that, the company itself, Flow, was struggling financially, that would be, and, burning cash and we weren't operationally efficient. We had completely made something complex where it should have been simple in terms of, how we produce, how we ship, wholesale, how we warehouse, so on and so forth. And from our perspective, when I came in a little over a year ago, and our owner founder Nick came back, Nicholas Ritzenbach came back. We partnered and we said we have to be completely focused on transforming this company. As I said, and as is well known, like, we have a great consumer base. Our sales are growing. We're opening up more and more doors of distribution. We're in Starbucks across Canada, Live Nation, Albertson, Safeway, Costco. The list goes on and on. But you need to be able to show investors and stakeholders a path to profitability, and that wasn't there a year ago, but it is now. And it didn't come haphazardly. We had to really look inside and develop a transformational plan, which we call our 4-pillar plan. And we have been diligently working on that 4-pillar plan for, close to a year now, and we're almost done. We're completely done of the first 2 pillars, which bought us a lot of time to reorganize the company and to make the foundation much more stable for future growth and profitability. And we managed to do that. And now we've gone through a lot of the actual execution of a restructuring of all functional areas of the business. We're about to be full 3PL and get out of logistics, warehousing, distribution, shipping, which we aren't good at, and we shouldn't be in. We're a brand company. And so we're trusted. We're going to go to some very, highly regarded, trusted third party logistics companies. And then we have the last one, which we have this, Aurora production facility that we're looking to monetize and divest, so we can focus on brand and sustainability and the things that are important to our consumers. And so that's, we've come a long, long way, and there's still things to do to prove this out as you get into our Q1. We're in the last few weeks of our Q4, but as we get into Q1 and Q2 of next year, we need to be able to show our stakeholders and investors that we have done everything we said we would do, and we feel very confident about that right now.
That's great. Marc, obviously, there's a lot of things going on with your company there. Talk about the primary challenges that you need to address in order to maximize operational performance and meet your sustainability goals.
So for us, it's really moving from a technology developer, which we've been. It's been really our job in the first 15 years of the company. We're going to celebrate our 15 years next week. So we've been a technology developer, and now the process is working well. Could still be improved, and it will be improvable for a while. But now our only objective is really to put this to industrial reality in the next few years. We already have a commercial plant, a small one in place, so we're starting to sell. First half of 2023, we had some revenues, significant revenues, 3.1 million euro on the half year. So it's good, it's happening. But the question for us is now build the big one. So we have a project that is on its way. We just announced recently that we got 16.4 million euro as a support from the French state. We are moving forward on this project, discussing with investors and looking for the debt side as well. All this will happen at project level, so not at the company, but in a subsidiary. And it's really our next challenge. All the companies working on this unique goal: get financed and build this large plant targeted for 10,000 tons per year. And so that's big number. The capex will be high, opex will be the revenues will be very high, and this plant is organized to be very profitable from day one of operations.
Okay. All right, Marc, let's go a little bit deeper and let's talk about the benefits of your premium water and what really separates you from the competitors out there.
Is that for me?
I'm sorry, I meant that for Trent. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think you were talking about vitamin infused water if I had to guess there, but I guess the benefits of our premium water. Sorry, so our premium water, first and foremost, it comes from a natural artesian spring, and it's high in pH at 8.1, which is naturally occurring. It's not infused with pH like so many other high level pH beverages you find out there. And the mineral makeup really, it really makes it very, very high in electrolytes. In fact, we're as high in electrolytes as several electrolyte marketed sports hydration drinks, and people don't realize that. In fact, I had a consumer recently say that Flow is the only beverage they drink to try to cure a hangover, and whether or not that's scientifically accurate or not, they're not alone. And so for us, the high pH level and the high, which gives it that high alkalinity, that is, really has a ton of health benefits, and they're all very well documented, including gut health, which is very important to a lot of people. So, overall, our product also, because of that alkalinity, has that really nice, smooth taste. And, it's obviously we've won a ton of awards on best water on the planet in some respects. Our cucumber mint has won best flavor water on the planet in certain awards. So, it is for a premium water, we hold ourselves up against anyone in terms of not just the taste, but the actual underlying health benefits associated with our water versus anyone else.
All right. And Marc, I'm sorry, Trent, staying with you. The vitamin infused water. I mean, how is that being received by the consumers?
Yeah, extremely well. Extremely well. There hadn't been, vitamin water has been around for quite a while. And you actually think of the brand name vitamin water. It's been around for a while, and it was purchased by the Coca-Cola several years ago. But look, and nothing against anybody else, but there hasn't been a ton of innovation in that particular product, and that particular product for a very long time. And so we came to market with 3 SKUs, all really wonderful flavors, that are competing in that particular product category. And it's been just a level of success we wouldn't have anticipated. And, a lot of the things that come from our actual take on it are different than others. We infused it with, 120% of your vitamin C on a daily, on a daily dose in 1 pack. You get a large amount of your zinc for the day out of a pack, and among many other health benefits, and the vitamin. And it's all about immunity, these first 3 SKUs. And we're looking to innovate within that line. We don't want to just be a 3 SKU line on immunity, but we're looking at other functional areas that benefit, people's health and the things that they're really wanting from their beverage. And so we're looking at expanding that line and innovating into it because of the success we've had. So you can look for that as we go forward, because it's not so far into the future. We've been working on it very hard in the background.
Right. So, Trent, you mentioned your packaging and how important it was. Help folks understand, what you're doing there, what you're trying to accomplish with your Tetra Pak.
Yeah, I mean, look, we could go on and on about that all day. It's so important to us. We obviously use Tetra Pak because it represents, the most sustainable packaging in RTD beverage in the world. The paperboard that you see within it, it makes up the bulk of the packaging, and it's actually sourced from the Forest Stewardship Council, FSC, and it's renewable, versus plastic, glass, or aluminum. And so that's really important for us. And it's important for our consumers. We use Tetra Pak's highest quality lining. It's called AQK, which is used for wine and other sensitive types of products, because it is best to preserve the flow, taste, and mineral electrolyte benefits. The pack is sealed mindfully, we say, with a sugarcane derived cap. I mean, it looks and feels just like plastic. It does, but it is completely biodegradable. So that's really important, and it's unique to us. Our package is aseptic and shelf stable, which provides a higher standard of food safety than most of our competitors. Technically speaking, a sealed flow pack, as long as it remains sealed, could safely be consumed decades later, but I wouldn't suggest it. We haven't been around enough to test it, but that is technically what could happen here. Overall, the packaging is extremely important, because it has a lower carbon footprint than most of our competitors. It protects and preserves the taste and mineral electrolyte and hydration benefits better than most of our competitors. And it's produced in the safest possible way. So, packaging is really important for us.
Impressive. I guess last question here. In your opinion, and again, it's an opinion, should single-use plastic be banned?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's without a doubt, it should be. And, even recycled plastic, as a big a leap that is in terms of sustainability from single-use plastic, it still relies on single-use plastic. It can't exist without other single-use plastic. So better, yes, because you're putting into a multiple use plastic, but still not great. And so we believe renewable resources have to be the way of the future. They just have to be.
Great. All right, Marc. Let's talk about your cosmetic line last. What makes it unique, and how is it better than what's in the marketplace today?
Maybe we first need to go a little bit to give some an overview of what happens in the makeup business. So there are 2 types of makeup. The first one is based on water, and it usually lasts for 2 hours. And the other one is the long-lasting version of makeup, and it's based on a specific oil, and it lasts for 24 hours. And so it's the long-lasting makeup. And so the first one from water is pretty much the historical makeup. It was started in the antique days, while the long-lasting makeup is more modern. It's only 40 years old, and it's always based on a molecule which is named isododecane as a base. This isododecane is very specific. It's a volatile oil, so it's an oil. It dissolves pigments, etc., and then it dries off. It revolatilizes. It's very difficult to have these two properties, being an oil and volatilizing, and that's exactly the molecule that we produce. So up to now, it was produced from oil, but we produce it from natural resources. This is the first ingredient in all long-lasting makeup. It's really like 50% in proportion, and the rest of the makeup is waxes and pigments and all that kind of ingredients. But 50% is the oil itself. And so we said to ourselves, well, we have this is the ingredient. I don't know if you see it. So this is the ingredient, it's volatile oil. And we said to ourselves, well, we do have the ingredient. We could well do the brand itself. So the first brand being both long-lasting and natural. And this brand was started 2 years ago. It's pretty much as a demo brand, just to show the cosmetic people that it is possible to combine naturalness and long-lastingness. And surprisingly, we sell. So we're not a cosmetics company. In fact, we're a technology development company up to now, moving to a project developer, an industrial project developer. But by no way we're a cosmetics company. But still, we've been able to do the brand, 32 references, and sell it through the internet. We're doing all the Google Ads efforts. And today we have tens of thousands of units that are in the hands of our consumers, and so that's nice to say. People like it because it's natural, because it's efficient, well, high performance in terms of lastiness, and it's a good product. It's a very innovative product in this field of cosmetics, which is always looking for innovations.
That's great. So, I mean, just taking a step back, I mean, the science you've developed, the biosource process you've done to create isobutane that's allowed you to create these other products, just, help everyone understand, why that's important and, where you're at in that timeline of development.
So maybe a quick look at the process itself. So it's based on a bacteria. We have engineered the bacteria, and when we give the sugar to the bacteria, it converts the sugar into a molecule which is named isobutene, which is in fact one of the key molecules of the petrochemical industry. It's produced today from oil, millions of tons. And so this isobutene is very specific, and if you combine the molecules 3 by 3, you end up with the molecule I mentioned that is in use massively in the cosmetics. And so that's what we do. We produce the isobutene, we combine them 3 by 3, and then we have our cosmetic ingredient. And it's also applicable to the field of sustainable aviation fuel. And where we are at today is really on the verge of producing more and more product. We're selling, but now it's about larger scale. So we have a 10,000 tons plant at site for 2027, and then it's going to be the showcase plant. And then the idea is really to replicate massively in different geographies. In the US, it will most probably be using corn as a feedstock. In Asia, it could well be sugarcane. In Thailand, for example, in all Middle East. In all Southeast Asia, and in Europe, what is abundant is sugar beets, and also wood. There is a lot of sugars in wood chips, and we've been able to work with a company that is extracting the sugars from wood chips, and it works in our process, so we can use these resources as well.
That's great. So, taking a deeper dive on the sustainable fuel side, where are you in the timeline of getting that into the commercial market?
Maybe we should look at the market first. So the market is really we're using globally about 300 million tons of jet fuel every year. 1 per 1,000 of it today is renewable. So SAF is only 1 per 1,000 of these 300 million tons, so 300,000 tons, and it's all produced from waste cooking oil. And this waste cooking oil might well go to 1 or 2%, and then we cannot go further because that's limited by the quantities of fries, French fries that we eat on the planet. So we cannot go beyond the maybe 5 million tons of sustainable aviation fuel globally from waste cooking oil. So we need other technologies if we want to go to higher volumes, and these technologies today are counted on the fingers of two hands. Maybe 10 technologies which are organized in 5 technology groups, and we're one of the 10. And so we're working on the market after the waste cooking oil will have been used, and we foresee that this market will start in 2030. In 2030, the Europe has voted that it will move to 6% sustainable aviation fuel in all planes taking off from Europe, and so the market will really lift off at that date, 1st of January 2030, and all the eyes of the people in the sustainable aviation fuel business are really focused on this date, and we intend to be ready to ship at that date to the airlines, which will have placed some orders for volumes earlier. We are already in discussion with some airlines, and we expect to get LOIs and soon offtake agreements from these.
All right, look, bear with me a moment. I've got the landscapers out back. It's a little loud. All right, I think we're good. So, Trent, what do you think are the main barriers that prevents, more consumers from using your products?
Look, in Canada, we're such a progressive progressive country in terms of our approach to climate change and environmental issues, and so you see the mindset throughout this country translating into really great sales for Flow, because people understand the benefits to the environment of buying something that is so highly sustainable, and from a health perspective, that goes all through the US and Canada. People are really moving towards products with that are more than just hydration. The functional benefits is something that people really focus on these days. But when it comes to sustainability, there are areas of, say, the United States where where there's a lot of progression, and you can see that we are very successful in those particular geographic areas. And there's other areas where they're maybe not as progressive yet on sustainability products and products that focus on environmental issues. And so I think that will obviously and inevitably change over time. And it's all about education. We're not in that alone. We have lots of partners, and you see what Marc is doing here. It's a different industry altogether, but there's a lot of education and a lot of, when it comes to environmental causes and the threat that climate change, really presents to the world. And so that is something that we're going to continue to educate our customers on, our partners on, and partner with other people and other companies that are doing the same thing and think the same way and have the same set of goals and objectives. So that's I think over time it changes, and right now we lead in this category in beverage and certainly in water, and we anticipate that we're going to continue to play a very prominent leading role in making sure that the masses start drinking out of sustainable packaging.
No, that's great. And Marc, same question for you. I mean, what do you think are some of the main barriers that prevent, consumers from, using your product or adopting, methods to be able to use your product?
So in the cosmetics, I don't see, I don't really see any barriers. The quest for naturalness is so high that the economics are working really well. There is no question. In the sustainable aviation fuel, the question is different. I mean, when you produce sustainable fuels, it's going to be more expensive than fossil fuels. Largely, we're talking multiple, like 3-fold, 4-fold, 5-fold maybe, and then the air transportation is going to be more expensive in the future, and that's something we will have to accept globally. We will probably not travel as much as we do today. The air transportation is probably going to reduce first because there are some people on their own saying that they don't want to contribute to the global warming, and they stop traveling. And the more sustainable aviation fuel is going to be present, the more it will be the acceptance for air transportation will continue. It's a quote from the Anne Rigail, the CEO of Air France. Air France is the first purchaser of a sustainable aviation fuel worldwide. And what she says is that if the air transportation industry does not succeed in sustainable aviation fuel, air transportation will revert to becoming a niche market like it was in the 70s. And so it's really serious. Today people are traveling like taking a plane like they take their car. Maybe it's going to be different in the future. And I think sobriety will be necessary, flying less, but flying better with sustainable aviation fuel that will reduce the carbon footprint of the aviation.
Right. All right. Last question, guys. We're just about out of time here. So, start with you, Trent. Looking forward, what do you hope to see in the next 5 years as it relates to your products and sustainability?
Yeah, great question. And, we see there continuing to be a focus on sustainable products coming to market in all different industries. I think as science continues to prove itself out, there's a real issue out there around climate and sustainability, and we need to continue to take a leadership role in that within our industry. And so we see ourselves continuing to grow and innovate and to get better and better at what we do and become more and more sustainable, more and more climate friendly. And I see, a lot of customers out there being converted into these kinds of formats and these kinds of products. Not just in our industry, but across several industries. I can't see a world where that doesn't take place. And, I think we're just in the right industry at the right time with the exact right product. And I don't see that slowing down for Flow. We're up 46% year to date. And we're just going to get even more aggressive in how we grow ourselves going forward. And I think it's not just important to us; it's important to our growing consumer base.
That's fantastic. All right, Marc, last question for you as well. Looking forward, what do you hope to see happen in the next 5 years as it relates to, your products and sustainability?
So in less than 4 years now, we expect to have a large plant, 10,000 tons by capacity, being commissioned and starting to sell and produce. And this plant is going to be the showcase. And then we're going to replicate this plant. And the idea is to do 3 plants, one in Europe, one in the US, and one in Asia. And then these plants could be in operation by 2030. And then what's going to happen, we expect that our technology will be one of the winning ones in the sustainable aviation fuel, and that the replication will be massive, like tens, maybe hundreds of plants, a little bit like what you see in the ethanol industry, hundreds of plants all around the world, converting various feedstocks into sustainable aviation fuel and making the air transportation sustainable and which is necessary for its continuation.
That's great. Marc and Trent, thank you so much for your participation today. We greatly appreciate it. And, having you guys provide insights and being part of our fall conference, we really do appreciate your efforts here and your time. And I think this has been a valuable discussion. So with that, I'd like to say thank you and everyone for listening, and hopefully you found this of value.
Thank you, Joe, for organizing all this nice conference.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.